Well, good morning. Well, it might be a little closer to noon. Anyway, in the distance here you see the control tower for LaGuardia, and there's Manhattan downtown. We're going to take the tour of Manhattan, but first we're taking off here, and we're actually in the East River and close to Flushing Bay. So back there, that's the Whitestone Bridge. We're going to take off in the direction of the Whitestone Bridge. We want to put in a little flap. This is a little Icon. It's a great little machine. It's really a toy, but it flies like a real airplane. So when I flew up from Virginia, my first cross country with passengers, I ended up going right up to the Whitestone Bridge. And right here, we're going to look, put the flaps up. Flaps up. I hit the gear. Okay, so there was a little airport in here called Flushing Meadows. And you'll see a little area. I guess this probably was it. This was where the airport was, and of course, right over the other side there is LaGuardia. So the inbound. Let me bring the power down a little bit. The key was the Whitestone Bridge here, which hasn't been totally handcrafted. They do have the high-rise part, but they're working on it. And when you get over to the George Washington Bridge, well, the George Washington Bridge hasn't been handcrafted either. So let's look out here to the left, and Flushing Meadows is right down in there. Then we come back up. This is called the East River. Back up this way is the Long Island Sound. So as the tides go in and out, the waters come rushing down through here. Look at that golf course right over there. I wonder if my uncles played golf in there. And then you can see here LaGuardia. And I was coming up the East River. It was overcast. So I came up the East River here and had to stay down below the overcast. I didn't have an instrument reading. So I was flying IFR. I was flying I follow rivers at that point. We'll look back to where I went in. Went up. I knew the Whitestone Bridge. I'd crossed that when I was a little kid. And I knew I couldn't go past the Whitestone Bridge. I'd take so this is what it looked like as we flew from up here. Hell's Gate is right up here, and then we will get to the Harlem River. The East River runs into the Harlem River. We'll look over at LaGuardia, and now I'm down at 800 feet, so you can see that I never saw an airliner like that. I never saw the airport as I flew along here. So right up here is an area called Hell's Gate, and it's called the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge. And we don't have to go up there, but the waters coming out of Long Island Sound go down the East River and out into the Atlantic Ocean. So as the tides go up and down, the waters rush through here. Now we're gonna take the right and go up Harlem River over to the Hudson River. all kinds of little bridges along in here. And there are tours, there are air tours, and there are boat tours that take you around Manhattan Island. So that's Manhattan Island on the left, and we're going to crawl on over to the Hudson River. And Harlem is on our left. This is called the Harlem River. And then we'll come on up here to, we don't actually have to go all the way to where the Harlem River exits into the George Washington, excuse me, into the Hudson River, but it goes on up there and comes out. So we're going to take a little shortcut here. And that's the George Washington Bridge right there. That's the one Sully when he ended up with two engines, when all his power quit, he was gliding down. He came gliding over the George Washington Bridge. Now we're following the Hudson River, and this is called the West Side Drive. It also has another name, that's something about green. Used to be called the West Side Drive. I can't remember. Anyway, New Jersey over on the right. I can't quite figure out where Teterboro is, but it's right out in there. And now we can see Central Park. Let's take a little detour over Central Park. They say the homeless are taking over Central Park. Beautiful area. And we'll go right down now. You can look over to the East River coming up right there. But we'll just fly over Central Park. We could figure maybe could do a little touch and go on the lake. Get a little flap in. This is going to keep the speed up. We'll scare the homeless. There we go. Flaps up. And we'll fly on down the rest of the park. This is really expensive real estate along here, overlooking the park. And then I think I see the Empire State Building straight ahead. And we'll come back on the tower and the top a little bit. We'll look back at the park. Central Park. It looks like it's more fun to go down this left side rather than go over the tall buildings. And I can recognize, now this has been handcrafted. So we'll get up here and we'll fly right past the Empire State Building. Then there's another one called the Chrysler Building, which might be right to our left here. That might be the Chrysler Building. It's a pretty building. It wasn't quite as tall as the Empire State Building. See if we see King Kong climbing around on there. Let's see, it's over 1,000 feet tall. That might be the Chrysler. No, it would be taller than that. I think my first guess. Anyway, it was very interesting design. But the Empire State Building is more famous. And we'll look out toward the Hudson and over into New Jersey. My dad used to work in Jersey City. That would be along in here somewhere. The Lincoln Tunnel, the Holland Tunnel. I can't quite figure that out. Here's Ellis Island. There's the Statue of Liberty. We'll get over there kind of close. And then we'll fly back by the World Trade Center. I could be wrong, but they have Liberty, a golf course out in here. And it could have been dumped. They had golf courses built possibly on landfill. And so this could be it right in here. Liberty Country Club. Something about Liberty because it looks out at the Statue of Liberty. And then we would see Newark Airport. That might be Newark Airport right over in there. Yeah, I think that's probably Newark Airport. This is probably downtown Newark. Used to live out in Summit, which would be out to the west there. Okay, there's the Statue of Liberty. And we come on around, see Governor's Island. And we have to drop down because we're going to see the Brooklyn Bridge. That could be, I forget, Staten Island. Could be the Staten Island Bridge. And we come on around here. We'll first look at Governor's Island. That's Governor's Island. Don't know why they call it Governor's Island. And then we come on around. They have a heliport here. This is right there. That's the heliport. This is Wall Street down here. And back at the World Trade, the World Trade Center right there. And then we come on down to the Brooklyn Bridge. So I think the next one is the Roosevelt Bridge. I forget where Greenwich Village is, but I think Greenwich Village is right down in here, close to where the Brooklyn Bridge goes across. Brooklyn Bridge was one of the first suspension bridges. A guy named Roebling actually designed, and he was making the wire for the bridge. And then here I come up the East River with the overcast at 600 feet. I don't remember this bridge. I remember seeing the Brooklyn Bridge. And then this is called the East Side Drive. They may have another name for the East Side Drive. Of course, this is Brooklyn. This is Brooklyn right over in here. My aunt and uncle used to live there. Eric and his wife grew up in Brooklyn. My friend Eric today. Eric's feeling better. We had coffee last week. He could tell you what these neighborhoods are, so forth. I was just trying to find Flushing Meadows Airport. I had buddies off my ship, and I was going along at about 100, a little over 100, with 135 horsepower. Didn't have much more horsepower than this has. This might have 110 horsepower. Coming up the East River at 600 feet. I don't remember doing any sightseeing that much. I'm looking up the river. I don't know whether I said any prayers, but I do remember flying past the I want to say the World Trade Center. I'll have to, maybe I'll think about it when I get there. The UN building. Yeah, we're not quite there yet. And then this is called Roosevelt Island. And then this is going to be the UN building right here. And we flew by at 600 feet. And I swear I looked right out at the building. So let's get down to 600 feet. So I remember looking out at right at the building, like that, as we went by. But what was here? I wasn't looking at the East Side Drive. I was just focusing. I don't even know that I remember Roosevelt Island here. And they're working on handcrafting this. The satellite wouldn't pick this up this way. And once they do it, it's opened underneath, like the Golden Gate Bridge. So that's Manhattan on the left. And then we'll fly on down, just as I did back then. I knew the East River went on over to the right and around to Flushing Meadows Airport, and the little tripacer we were flying in. We were flying a little faster than this, but not much. We'll look over toward the Bronx. I don't know where Yankee Stadium is, and I'm not sure. The Bronx may be up in here. Yeah, I better not start saying what we're looking at over here. Queens, maybe Queens. Okay, now we go. This is the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge. And this is called Hell's Gate right here, because the tidewaters really go flying through here. "600 feet. I had 40 hours flying time. That was 1956. Yeah, we'll look back at New York. And that, of course, is the Harlem River going off and around Manhattan Island over to, we'll go look over that way. So we followed that earlier, the Harlem River. And Harlem is right over in there. And then we're going to see LaGuardia, and we already know about LaGuardia. So let's see someplace interesting that we can land and maybe taxi in. I see a little harbor right over here on the left. We could land right near. We might see some big airplanes. So we'll land at LaGuardia. There's an airplane running opposite runway 4, which is the runway Sully took off from. And then the runway that guy just landed on would be runway 22, going in the opposite direction. They do have a seaplane base real close to there. maybe we'll see this guy take off when we land over here. So we'll come in with some flap, and we got the little plane idling. They wouldn't want us doing anything like this. Oh, 50, we can get it down a little slower. And then it'll finally stall into the water. Stop flying right about now. There we go. It gets to fly once you get into the ground effect. Put the flaps up. Oh, here comes one man landing on 4. He made him go around. I think he told him to go around. Yeah, I don't see him landing. And then the one behind us is just about to take off. Oh, there's another one over there. That one he told to go around. And we'll see if we see this guy take off. Yeah, I see him moving. Airbus on runway 22, cleared for takeoff. They wouldn't say, they'd say what the airline is. I don't recognize those colors. And then we'll get to hear it. They would have probably sent the police out to chase us out of here. Look at it. Look at these guys over here. Okay, give it the gas. He's taxied into position. There he goes. There's full power. And of course it's simulated. The wheels came up. It looks pretty real. Looks pretty real. Okay, oh, you see the World Trade Center from here. And we probably can see the Whitestone Bridge. Let me see if I can see. I can't quite see the Whitestone Bridge. I think it would be over this way. Yeah, just not sure which way I'm looking. See, it shows me us pointing 060 a little bit northeast. And they were pointing, so it would be east. No, it would be north. Okay, sounds nice out here. Maybe we should do a little fishing. Oh, they'd chase us out of here in about 2 seconds. Okay, thanks for riding along.